aircraft is outstanding as the development and test effort for this aircraft is now done.
Is Frecce, leader of the synchro. Aerobatic team, the Red Arrows!
Fucking Falcon.
Inverted flag. It will be so impressive looking at the backside of the Typhoon as the afterburners literally light up in the nozzle, starting an double Immelmann, highlighting the great sense of power of the Cargo T-27J.
Fuck off.
weighs about 13.5 tons, but it's reasonably light. Out in Afghanistan will fly approximately 18 to 20 tons. This makes the manoeuvrability a lot more difficult for crews. Is now going to be demonstrating a seesaw. This is similar to the aircraft today is a Chinook Mark II. It's been in service since approximately 1981. As he puts this down, sometimes this manoeuvre is used when you've lost power to the aircraft, so either an engine failure or some other problems which means you've got less power. You can actually use approximately about 25 to 30% of the overall power of the aircraft on a regular. Forward, cancel backwards. Ladies and gentlemen, about from the team today, say hello when you see us around. Give a big cheer for the 2014 Chinook display team. As Charlie departure, I'd like to say a big pleasure to display in front of you all today. On behalf of the team, enjoy the rest of your day here at Fairford, and we hope to perform for you again in the near future. Right, Lieutenant Chris Gordon, thank you very much indeed for describing that. You won't see many.
Here goes the takeoff run of the C-27J Spartan of the Italian Air Force Flight Test Center based in the Pratica di Mare. Reception! C-27J Spartan is the new advanced version of the tactical transport aircraft of the Italian Air Force, degrees in only 150 meters turning rate. In this particular condition, the aircraft weight is about 18 tons. Turn around its roll axis, the so-called tonneau. You can see the Spartan fly over the display line, and after setting a little nose up, rolling, get it upside down in front of you. Pay attention. Yeah, showing up its outstanding rolling capability. The tonneau is This is a 3G4 maneuver. Now the aircraft is on the top of the looping and scooting down. Maneuver that ends with a wide left turn at 200 knots, which is the speed requested to allow Major Fabio De Michele, Major 6th Air Brigade in Pisa, allowing the armed force and the country to rely on a renewed transport component. Take a look, this is what we call the ribbon. Entering the maneuver with 60 degrees nose up and exit off 40 degrees in the opposite direction, undergoing the crew to a stress of 2.7 G factor. Alenia C-27J Spartan is the only cargo aircraft in the world. Try to figure out, in this moment, the co-pilot sitting on the right is literally hung on the handles while the commander keeps the engines under control, setting the right at idle position and the left one at maximum power and just using the rudder at maximum range. You have to know that the Spartan can airlift 9 tons of material, including vehicles, as well as injured personnel with medical staff and equipment. Points in the crowd. The Spartan of the Italian Air Force Flight Center now performs a roll-under with a sudden change of path, preparing for the last flight path of the demo program of 2015. So, demonstrating these excellent ground control capabilities. Now, taxiing on the runway. The Spartan crew measure away because we'll be back shortly to make you stare at the sky with another incredible demonstration, the AMX demonstration flight. Ben, thank you.
Manuel, thank you very much, and the Spartan display never ceasing to impress here at RIAT. As Manuel said, he'll be back for the next item from the Reparto Sperimentale Volo, which will be the AMX, and that is at 11:25. And later on we've got the Tornado from the same unit at about 1:45. Well, from one tremendous international display to another. 40 years ago they took to the air the best model of flight demonstration.
maneuvers under 6 G-force. The magnetic changes on the way.
during the Cold War, this aircraft would have been of great interest to tacticians on the NATO side.
Absolutely right.
Traded hostile, i.e. Western airspace, using high-speed, low-level tactics to try and evade enemy fighters. Compared with the Soviet norm at the time, the aircraft's navigation and attack computers were fairly advanced, but nonetheless, just as it was for NATO assets, for their Warsaw-Pact counterparts, it was a very risky undertaking to carry out those NATO during that period. Soviet Su-17 fitters served in the invasion of Afghanistan and laid something of the low-level capability of the fitter in a show of force, 480 knots, 500 feet. The AL-21 engines, which obviously rather marks the aircraft out in the skies. The aircraft has high fuel consumption and can't be air-to-air refueled, and the payload is completely comparable with modern aircraft. 4 tons is pretty much enough to make a mess of anything. Far more modern equipment at their disposal. Here's the first of the missed approaches down the runway centre line. It's remarkable.
Yes, yes. Here we go.
These aircraft hail from the second of the pair in the hands of Captain Radoslav Leszczyk, coming into land, completing their sequence. Thus, the 2 Sukhoi Su-22 M4K fitters of the Polish Air Force in the 40th Tactical Squadron have completed. Certainly amongst the most charismatic aircraft we will see in today's flight.
Over 110 knots for the first section from number 1 till number 5. Here in the 2013 aerobatic season, the leader of Frecce Tricolori will come back up on our ass to tell to number 6, yes, now it's the time to your takeoff. So take a look on the left. Signori, queste sono le the first entry maneuver. This is the first looping of Frecce Tricolori. Triangle formation for Frecce Tricolori ready to switch and to change the formation. 3, 2, 1, ready for the first opening. The opportunity to take the first incredible picture of the cross of Frecce Tricolori. So count with me, 3, 2, 1. The first magical word of the Frecce Tricolori flight is opening. The second magical word is crossing, and the first magical word is 3 and 4. The first maneuver for this final goal for Frecce Tricolori. White smoke and butterfly. For your kind invitation here in RIAT 2014. This is the giant heart of Frecce Tricolori. Smoke, green, white and red. Don't miss the opportunity to take another incredible picture. So, 3, 2, 1. Of Frecce Tricolori. 9 MB 339 on good roll. Up in the sky for the don't worry, it's not crazy. The longest white smoke snake in the world, Captain Capodanno.
moment you can shake your hands or clap your hands as you prefer. Ladies and gentlemen, Italian pilot, Italian airport, Italian Frecce Tricolori.
There's only 2 people in it. And the pilot, he tell me, he's got like a protector. And if he does this,
the landing of the second section from number 6 to number 10, the section led by Captain Mattia Portolucci.
International A-2 has just begun the takeoff run, and he is about to rotate and perform a speed take-off. -1 speed. Fly past. The AMX is flying perpendicular to the which requires a dimensional calculation. Followed by a barrel roll. The AMX pilot is now 4,000 feet loading 7G and flying back towards us with an half roll and a barrel roll on the left side. Top speed, fly past. And after the low speed, flat eye, the always engine is set to run at maximum power to reach 200 knots, because we want to show you the outstanding of the Italian Air Force Ghibli flight display. For a very amazing aileron roll. Even though damaged. And the landing of the Ghibli gives the Italian Air Force team a little break. Stay with us, ladies and gentlemen. From the left centre, heading towards the three-ship formation for the first of a number of quarter clover manoeuvres in this display. Rolling around to the right and readjusting themselves parallel with the display line that you can see marked in front of us by the big orange markers, the 230-metre display line. Up into a big barrel roll. And now we'll see the first change of formation out of this.
as the two wingmen move forward into line abreast for the line abreast loop. Leading the team in the centre of the formation here is Captain Nofan Al-Grer, who graduated from the King Hussein Air College as a fighter pilot in 1997. He flew the Northrop F5, then the Dassault Mirage F1, and he will -3G inverted dive out of that half Cuban, pulling out into regular flight. Sixth formation, pulling up into a loop. The team was founded at the behest of the late King Hussein in 1976. They started out with 2 aerobatic kits, special biplanes. Later they added a third. Became very well known on the international display circuit. Now another very uncomfortable negative G manoeuvre. They come into their inverted pass. Al-Karale, another graduate of the King Hussein Air College, who flew the Northrop F5 and then the Royal Jordanian Air Force's most modern fighter, the F-16 fighting rocket, has been part of the team since 2012. For a barrel roll there towards us. Nice to see the immaculate colour scheme. For the signature manoeuvre of the Royal Jordanian Falcons, this, their spectacular Hashemite break. The third member of the team is new for 2014, then Captain Ahmad Al-Qudar, who joined the Royal Jordanian Air Force in 2003. And he and his fellow wingman running in down the display line in front of us for a head-on 9-8 pass. Look at something of the aerobatic prowess of the extra EA300L with a series of figures, beginning with a tail slide, the aircraft speed leading off at the top and tail sliding down back through its own smoke. The extra family of aerobatic aircraft designed by a former aerobatic pilot from Germany, Walter Extra. Very capable machine, mounted a large number of solo aerobatic items and display teams all over the world. Up there for a very uncomfortable looking Lobshavak. Leader calling smoke on as they prepare to perform their final break, the barrel roll break. Ladies and gentlemen, that was the 2014 Royal Jordanian Falcons. Roll early on in the sequence. Here goes, firing FAX. intruders, the Air F-14 Tomcat. And there we see that high angle of attack. Loaded up there to 30 degrees alpha and flying at 95 knots. That is the slowest of the slow flight paths that we've seen so far. In for another aileron roll there, and now the So the view over the nose is quite different, quite difficult, but very useful in air combat to be able to pull that alpha, to get the nose on to another aircraft and bring a weapon to bear. Well, there a contribution from the Boeing company, long time. Rolling now, the Airbus A400M, the Axler. Once airborne, the aircraft turns away through to 745 degrees with a nose up attitude of about 25. Very impressive for an aircraft of that size. Not just new aeroplane, new engines as well, begin to be delivered. Really starts in the design phase. A lot of large aircraft, they would be restricted to an angle of back of about 30 degrees or so feet before descending in towards us. Once again, as of June, the A400M flight test program had seen some 2,300 flights being completed by the 5 aircraft in the course of over 6,500 flying hours, and Airbus says that 90% of the development and test effort for this aircraft is now done. That's 400 aircraft. has been retired for future preservation, and one of the other ones put into flyable storage. This is because production aircraft are now very much arriving in service. The first one for the French Air Force was delivered last year, and already the first Armée de l'Air A400Ms are being employed operationally. They've supported the French military commitment in Mali, amongst other things, and the Turkish Air Force is the second air arm to receive the type. The UK gets its first one in September, and Mark, this has seen a great amount of redevelopment at Bride's Norton as the base prepares for this and other aircraft.
Absolutely, I got involved with Project Future Bride about 11 years ago, and it's finally complete. About 5 years ago you could see the building site, the largest building site in southeast England, from about 13 miles away at 5,000 feet, but now virtually complete, and this aircraft is really the last thing that we've got in the jigsaw that completes right now as the world-class air mobility hub for the Royal Air Force.
Slow speed pass there with gear down. This aircraft can fly very slowly in fact enough to refuel helicopters, which is one of its other roles apart from airline. It's the Atlas C1, as it will be known in Royal Air Force service. And after Britain gets its first Atlas in September, Germany will do likewise in November. And the current plan is that next year 23 A400Ms should be handed over to customer nations. And a very steep descent there by the A400M.
Oh my god, it's doing these first. Yeah, so?
And this, I should imagine, Mark, is an aircraft that the RAF will be looking to employ tactically. Now, here we are, expanding the speed range of this display. A faster fly past now.
Yeah, let's start.
From this, we'll see the A400M pulling up steeply into a very impressive wing over, which in the past has given shades of the old Dutch F-27 displays. And there we go, past the vertical at the top. The fly-by-wire controls provide for a wide flight envelope up to 120 degrees in roll, no limits in pitch, roll rates of some 35 degrees per second. Of course, there's a substantial British element to the manufacturing of the A400M. The outer wing box and the flaps of the aircraft being built in Britain. Of course, this aircraft using a lot. With him on the flight deck, another Briton, his colleague Anthony Flynn. It was Ed who made the first flight in 2009, and no wonder from that display you can see why. He says every pilot who flies this aircraft has a smile on his face due to the A400M's handling and manoeuvrability.
Yeah, look. Yeah, he's doing a short landing. What? We try that.
Maximum braking and maximum reverse pitch on the propellers will be applied for this landing.
Oh, it's massive. Wait, here he comes. Here.
Look, ready? Yeah. 1,
Goes into reverse, the loading ramp being brought down. This aircraft well able to carry current military helicopters. It can take a Cougar or Super Puma of the type we'll be seeing displayed by the Swiss later, or two examples of the
Oh, see this.
is new in today's program. We call it formation. Next part of the program. The goal is to hide all three aircraft behind the leader's tiger at one point of this circular arc. Inverted flight is in close formation. On slow speed is difficult to control, especially on a supersonic fighter jet. G-force can be positive and negative, which implies that the weight of your body will be submitted to variations of weight depending on acceleration. The dynamics demonstrated in this title. Actually, that was our plan to bring our first display aircraft, actually the Hunter, with the team here to the Royal International Air Tattoo. Unfortunately, the weather was too bad because they had to fly under visual flying conditions. We had some rain.
Experience in the last 5 minutes, the government taking, he just said the weather is still.
That's why he is not here, but we hope to see the Hunter again in Great Britain so much.
Thanks very much. You're welcome. Thank you, Winnie. And of course, a couple of other aircraft that are flying display, the Lockheed Martin F-35B Lightning II, due to the recent grounding order, and we're very sorry about that, of course, but flight safety always paramount in these situations at PR-19. But still a great deal to entertain us over the rest of the day, and George, a great deal going on elsewhere.
And the aircraft now acquires enough energy for the first vertical maneuver, which is an half-given aim. For 2015 program. The maneuver highlights the great latitude and roll characteristics of the aircraft which makes it exactly valued. The Tornado is a 17th project aircraft, so many devices with proper of the most modern fighters are not mounted on it, so that's why. Final rotates the Tornado by the lower wing side and suddenly changes the kilometers per hour flight path, after which the crew must pay attention to find the level V factor. Show us the belly of this great aircraft by applying full plastic and climbing up, approaching to the end of this impressive air display. This aircraft is able to fly and accomplish the time mission and releasing precision weapons with autopilot engaged at very low levels. And it's towed by two Rolls-Royce RB199 with afterburner engines and truck. Surveillance using trailer shuttle the Überwachung Spitfire, the jet trailer squadron of the surveillance wing station. By transport. Around the corner, everything about the but the Austrians still use the General Electric engines on their Saab 105. That Austria was the only export customer for the type, which was offered unsuccessfully to Switzerland and Finland. And the Caro Ass. And for the final manoeuvre, the brake turn. Undercarriage coming down, flux coming down. Continue in service until about the year 2020.
the red arrow is displaying at 14:38. And if you want to get all your books and brochures and pictures signed, they'll be in the Red Arrows special anniversary village at 3:45. The Apache is just getting airborne now to reposition before we have the L-39 on. The Apache will be following that. Was one of the first countries to have a now into what the pilots are strong. Battlefield was described as a rapid descent followed by a rapid climb. Up in the region of 3.5 years off the start of the 2 of these aeroplanes. Using the off-bound called the Baltic Beam, and it's no coincidence therefore that the policy of this aircraft is very similar to the Baltic Beam delivery. Pilots, flight controllers and technical air controllers, and they also help train Latvian Air Force pilots too. Wonderfully described by the pilot with a reverse arm within bracket at 100 metres of width. And a wing lock on the final run to boot. For today's display, ladies and gentlemen, will take place on the airfield in front of you. The Apache is airborne, holding out the area to your front and have their optics looking into the airfield. There is support of the British Army Infantry Section, full-time hammer, towards patrol and the far side of the airfield, hunting down pockets of enemy. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the aircraft is now climbing up the right into the zoom line to get a better perspective into the area. Now look out to your front and see if you can spot any further enemy fire. Gentlemen, the Apache is now completing a 360-degree wing over. It's going to position into the hover in front of us. As you can see, the aircraft's using up to 60 degrees angle of bank there. aircraft for today's display weighed just around 10 tons, so you can see a very manoeuvrable aircraft for something so large. Ladies and gentlemen, the crew are now performing a bump. It takes the aircraft right to its limits of pitch, 90 degrees nose up, and there's no mean feat in that 10-ton aircraft. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a pleasure to display to you. Please put your hands together for the 2014 attack helicopter display team. On behalf of everyone from the attack helicopter force in Watersham, we'd like to thank our sponsors, SelectCN, whose products keep our crews safe on a day-to-day basis. successful, meeting the need for Brazil's new fighter as well.
Down to about 150 miles an hour. The G's backing off to around 1G as they show you that plant of feathered arrow, which we call Fred. As they start accelerating down the other side of the loop, the speed builds up to around 400 miles an hour. The G's coming on to 4G as they twist Fred. Up in that wide Phoenix formation. Keep your eyes on red 6 and 7 with the blue smoke. This is the Palm Split. It's red 6, leader of the synchro. Get your cameras ready for the amazing Jippo pass. shed. That is red line. It's now to the He's a former Hawk, flying instructor, Hawk display pilot and Harrier pilot. He's drawing a spear, ladies and gentlemen. There are synchro pair grenades to their heart and spear, and the pilots and officers of the team would like... Pilots perform tight match rolls to the outside of the formation in the rollbacks. And the Tornado GR4 before donning his red suit last year. 6 and 7 before they perform their O rolls and split in the Jippo break. number 3, Flight Lieutenant Joe Horston. He's waving, boys and girls, give him a wave back. Here's Red 4, Flight Lieutenant Ollie Parr.
It's just over half an hour's time, 3:45. They'll be there till 4:30. We know that an awful lot of you would like to get signatures on brochures and on posters and things like that. So please bear with us. Please be patient. They will get through as many as is possible. Now, the important...
an aircraft that had first flown 40 years before that, it would have been built in 1934.
In service, down from 160 that they originally took, but they're much more capable multi-role aircraft these days. And now we move into the slow speed portion of this display.
Through 1994 as Lancaster and Dakota navigator. Two fantastic years and two fantastic seasons here at the RIAT.
Yes, it's a hugely competitive world. We'll tell you more about the girls in a moment. Leading the team, Steve Hicks, always wanted to be a pilot. By the Harrier and Jaguar, and then became a pilot for British Airways in 1980 to compete just to get a place, and then he can stand by for the split. 25 years, he found founded his operating company Aeropatics in 1982, and it's quite incredible. Noticed the crewman standing in the open rear door of the Dakota as it